What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Today I want to talk about Sparking Zero. So I did buy the early access. I just couldn't wait. Also, I'm going on vacation this weekend, so I wouldn't be able to play it really on its opening kind of couple days. So that's how I kind of justified it in my mind. To spend all that extra money to play it early. But I guess I'll just go through my quick thoughts, my first impressions of the game, and then way later down the road, I will do like a more formal review. There's just some things that I felt like I wanted to talk about, and definitely like if you're waiting for the game to come out formally, like some of these things you may be kind of interested to hear. The first thing I want to talk about is how nervous I was, not like to play the game, but I guess I was just so nervous that I wouldn't like the game. Like I was like every moment I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I put so much, I guess, like mental stock on the experience that like if something were to go wrong, that it would just like ruin my perception of everything. There are like definitely a few things that I don't really like about the game and that could be improved, but I guess I feel like other people may have this mentality. It's kind of like this unspoken thing. I almost felt that way when Spider-Man 2 came out for the PS5, where it's like, you can't not like this game. It's the sequel to Spider-Man, and then it ended up being like just an okay game. I don't think that's what it's like in Sparking Zero at all. So, like, it's definitely not to that level where it's like, it kind of turned out the game like wasn't nearly as good as everyone thought it was. This game, I feel like, by its gameplay alone, makes it worth it because you're going to be able to play it for years and years and years. It's really just a replacement for BT3 at the end of the day, and that game's incredible. And also, it's like, like, you know, the lasting legacy of BT3 is the modded version with all the new characters. And of course, this is like the only real official way to play like everything, like the entire story of Dragon Ball. The one thing I will say I don't like is that I'm not the biggest fan of the whole menus. It's like this live thing, and you have to like switch through them, and there's like these animations. They just look kind of weird. Okay, well, the video I'm going to show is I was streaming the game and recording it at the same time. So I did a few moments here and there see a little like frame droppage, but I don't know. Just overall, I think menus work better when they are rigid. I don't need anything crazy going on. Let me scroll to the left. Let me scroll to the right. I don't need to see some sort of background interactions between characters. It's not a big deal, but I was definitely like, as I was playing last night, I was like, yeah, this is not really, I could like go without this for sure. I'll talk about the story mode for a second. I haven't played too much, but I think it's fine the way that it's done. I've seen a lot of people complain about it. I'm not really sure what their specific complaints are. Just they're like saying it's like unacceptable. It's not nearly that bad. It's like these dynamic JPEG type of things where you'll see the picture, it'll zoom in, it'll play a cutscene, you'll zoom out. It's very fluid, actually. It's a little unique. It's not really what I expected to see out of it necessarily, but when they do like play the actual cutscenes themselves, they look amazing. It's a very unique art style. It's not like the show, obviously. It's not like Fighters, and like the way that the show is animated itself is like blended almost at this point. They are going for this almost like hyper realistic look of it, and it's cool. Like I actually enjoy like seeing this kind of new style. I think it fits really well for the game. Having also like there's another cool part about it, which I'm sure everyone has heard about if you're watching this video, but you get multiple options. So I kind of plan on playing it through the same, like the story kind of straight through, go all the way through Super, and then I'll start going through the branching dialogue options. But that just obviously helps with the longevity of the game. Like you'll just be able to go back and play the story mode so many different times, and it looks like there's so many different things that you can do in the story path and the way that they did it. And I think that's amazing, actually. I think what they did was really cool because you can just play through the story on BT3, especially modded. Like you can just get that straightforward experience, and you can get that here, but you're also getting something like these alternate scenarios that are just gonna be really fun to play at times. And you can just like do on a whim. Like you don't have to follow like one specific alternate path. You can do the right thing here, or like the canon version, whatever you want to call it, and then you can change like, hey man, I wish they did do that at that time. You know, something along those lines. The game looks, I already talked about this, but the game does look incredible. Okay, it feels like this is really what Jump Force wanted to do. I feel like if you compare the two, they're not that far off, but it just got it more right. Now, part of that probably has to do with like a few years under its belt, right? Jump Force came out quite a bit ago, but I don't know. I feel like the technologies, it can't be all that different. They just found a way to make it look more correct. The like charging key, like that graphic or whatever you want to call it, they look so cool. That was one of the best things about BT3 in my opinion. and they just like mastered that look so well in this game. It's like it's fun to charge your ki almost, because I guess as a kid it was like a really cool part of the game. Like when you're going Super Saiyan, like charging your ki was a big part of the aesthetic of it, and they just, yeah, they got it right. Online needs a little bit of a, not I wouldn't say a rehaul. That's kind of like an extreme statement, but there are a couple of areas that kind of drive me insane. Like private rooms need way more customization, and this is something that I really, really, really hope that they do. And I know there's already like a 9 gigabyte update coming for it, which is kind of insane. I don't know what's going to be in there. Like the game, I didn't feel like a buggy mess when I was playing it, but I guess that's modern gaming now. But you need to be able to, like, the point system is good, like, and it's how they do ranked, right? You can't just have a team full of the best players. You can turn that off in a private match, and that's cool. But you know, you can play under that setting with a friend. But like, why can't I make more points? Like, why can't I have a 25-point team with my friends? We can have like 2 really good characters, and then we find ways to flesh it out. Or we have this like really well balanced team of like 5 players, and he has 3 because he has better characters. That should definitely be an option. We should be able to do like customize almost everything, like every aspect of that. And you can't touch those settings at all. It's either you have the 15-point system or it's off. And I feel like they can do more with it. Also, you should be able to customize in a private room. Okay, I understand you have to standardize these things for ranked, but you need to be able to like take more time to choose characters. I was like learning the game last night with Kevin, and we were like trying to play a private match, and we were like, okay, let's take a look at the roster. And like it flies through, like 30 seconds go by, and like we had all the points off, so we could pick like 1,000 characters or 5 or whatever you want to call it. And like I was like, I ran out of time. Like there was a point where I was like, okay, I know I have time, I have to be quick. And then you like start getting really interested and like, okay, well I want to try out the, you know, this and this, and then suddenly the timer is gone and the game starts. You should be able to just like make unlimited time to choose characters in a private match so that you can like test those kinds of things out. Also, joining a room, it's so bad. Like I don't know if you should be able to like send invites. Like you should, I don't know if they want to like make a friend list. I doubt that's going to happen since it doesn't seem to exist. Okay, so you have to put in a 9-digit code to get into a private room, but you can't type it in. You have to like Nancy Drew 2002 game style, like click, 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 click to go through all the digits. That is so lame. Like, why can I not put my mouse over it? You know, like switch it from my controller to my mouse and be like, okay, what are the digits? Like typing it in would be fine, but having to manually type, it sucks. Like that's like terrible. It's a terrible system, and hopefully something that they change at some point. I'm hoping. The gameplay is great, so I guess I'll just finish up really, I guess, talking about gameplay. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I've already said this, but you know, the gameplay is going to be the lasting legacy, because once everyone finishes all the content, the only thing that people are going to be playing is ranked. And, you know, me and Kevin will just be playing against each other, you know, we're just booting up a match, whatever, right? It's going to take me a very long time to learn the mechanics, so if you're watching the gameplay footage in the background, just keep in mind this was my first 30 minutes in the game, and Kevin was getting used to it too, so it's not riveting, like, high-level gameplay, but it seems to be a nice, decent blend of button mashing, which I feel like has a very negative connotation. You know, those are, like, the things that you like to see as a beginner. Like, you have the ability to at least, like, hit your opponent a couple times. But, you know, most of the game does rely on the skill aspect of it, being able to do combos. And I saw glimpses of that for myself at certain points where I'm like, oh, yeah, like I just strung together something pretty cool. I didn't really know what I did, but like just from what I played for, you know, just the hour of playing, you know, against someone else, like, yeah, I can see there being like really good matches out of it and really memorable moments. The cinematics of the gameplay they're just incredible, especially when you hit your ultimate move. It's like you're watching the show, or I guess, you know, more accurately, you're playing the show. I think it's like a really smooth transition. The fact that they have the control scheme for BT3 players is great. I think I'm going to stick with the new control scheme. I didn't play too much of it, like leading into it. I've been playing Dragon Ball Legends, so I have to like relearn fighting mechanics from the ground up, essentially, just because I was playing such a different kind of game. But even with that being said, like I still was able to hop in and like, you know, get a few hits in there, win it like a game or two as we were learning it. So I think that is a very big positive for it. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to wrap this up now. I will be doing a much more formal review once I get, you know, maybe like 5-10 hours into it. At that point, I feel like I'll have like a really good understanding of everything the game has to offer. And then once I do that, I'll talk about it, and it's going to be a good review. Unless something crazy happens and I like start to hate the game after 10 hours, it's going to be a very positive one. My first impressions are great. Like, even though I had all this pressure that like I was hoping that, like, I was thinking the game was going to be terrible, it didn't disappoint me at all. There are a lot of amazing aspects of it. The things that are negative are very small, and overall I know I'm going to be playing this game for a very long time. If you guys have been playing, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you're still getting it, you're waiting for the official release date, also let me know what you're thinking about the game, what you've seen, and how excited you are to play it. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.